Tennessee. Over 100,000 Tennesseans were forced. 100,000 Tennesseans were forced off of their health care plan. They did nothing wrong. It is not their fault. What has happened is another of the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare as we call it, providers has said, guess what? This is too expensive to offer a product, and they have exited the marketplace. Now, what we are seeing is exactly what we in Tennessee told you would happen with Obamacare. Why? Because in Tennessee, we were the test case back in the mid-90s for Hillary Clinton's grand health care experiment. Hillary Care became TennCare in Tennessee. We knew that a product that was too expensive to afford was not going to be utilized, and eventually providers would drop out of the marketplace, and eventually the networks would narrow, and eventually individuals would have a very difficult time accessing health care. So, through no fault of their own, 100,000 Tennesseans that are in the Nashville, Memphis, and Knoxville areas are going to find that they have fewer choices in health care. Now, they didn't get to keep the doctor that they wanted or liked or had. They didn't get to keep the health care plan that they wanted or liked or had. And certainly, they were not saving $2,500 per family on their health insurance. Quite the opposite has happened. And what we have before us is now thousands of Tennesseans who are going to have to scramble to find health insurance because a product isn't offered. The costs continue to go up. The choices begin to be eliminated and narrowed. The networks, the physicians you can go to for care, they are fewer in number. The hospitals that you have the ability to go into to seek that care, fewer in number. And why is that? It is because the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare as we call it, is too expensive to afford, too expensive to have, too expensive to use, and yes, indeed, too expensive for the insurance companies that are offering a product. It is time for us to, yes, indeed, repeal this, admit that it was a mistake, admit, like Tennessee did years ago, that it is too expensive, that it does not work, and replace it with components and items, many ideas that we have had in this chamber for years, Mr. Speaker, ideas such as portability, a cross-state line purchase of health insurance, liability reforms, making certain that individuals can choose an insurance product and then be able to go to see a physician where they live. Affordability, access. That is what we need in the marketplace. We continue to push those ideas forward. And to our Tennessee neighbors who are finding themselves without a health insurance option, we understand the plight that exists. And we again say it is time to repeal and replace Obamacare. I yield back.
The time of the gentlelady has